Hello, Void. Today I wanted to talk about one of the presentations from Ishtarfest this year. It was called Become Your Own Shiro Like Ishtar with Transformational Stories by presenter Lori Angel Nagel. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel in the description. This presentation was a workshop to help you take your own life stories and put them into a transformational story template. She used the myth of Inanna's descent as an example and invited participants to use the template to tell their own stories. I was too shy to tell mine during the festival, so I'm going to do it now. It's probably better for me to participate asynchronously anyway, so I can edit out any of my awkward pauses. If you missed Ishtarfest, they did record the sessions for participants to watch again later, so I bet they'd let you purchase a pass to view the recordings if you contact the organizers. This transformational story template includes 8 steps. 1. Identify a recent win. 2. How is it a win? 3. Reflect on how things used to be. 4. What is different? 5. How have you grown? 6. Why is it important? 7. What is the greater impact? And 8. How does this transformation feel? I'm going to use this template for my story of going through breast cancer and how it pushed me into going deeper into my spiritual path. This is sort of a descent and ascent story in a way. So step 1, identify a recent win. I guess it's not too recent. It's about 2 years since, but I made it through all of my treatments more or less fine. And throughout the journey, I found myself returning to spiritual practices and building a greater relationship with my goddess. Once everything was done and settled, I started seeking out a spiritual community, which led me to find that there are a lot more people who worship Inanna too. The whole experience helped me to reflect on what is really important to me and to focus on openly living my life the way I really want to live it, instead of worrying about how other people might perceive my choices. 2. How is it a win? This is a win because my sense of mental and spiritual well-being has greatly improved due to this, even if it came out of a horrible situation to begin with. So even though it was the worst experience that I've ever gone through, it did push me to seeking greater happiness in my life, and it pushed me to get out of my comfort zone to try to make the most of my life. 3. Reflect on how things used to be. I was always interested in building a regular spiritual practice around Inanna, but I guess I was afraid of how the people in my life or society in general would react if they found out. I didn't want to be seen as someone who believes in things that most of the world sees as make-believe, I guess. And every time I start trying to research stuff about Mesopotamian religion, I'm inundated by ancient aliens nonsense. So I guess I was a bit afraid of being associated with that kind of crap too. But I also kept feeling drawn to her since she first came to me as a child, like during my preteens or early teen years, but I consider anything under 18 a child. It was somewhere around that time. I didn't fully trust my own experiences and perceptions and put too much stock in what I assumed other people around me thought. 4. What is different? So when I got breast cancer, something in me broke. I found that all these people who I had been sort of allowing to control how I was living my life to an extent didn't actually care that terribly much about me or what I was going through. Suddenly, it felt like all the years of trying to appear somewhat respectable and normal in these people's eyes were all for nothing. What's the point of diminishing myself just to make people who don't really even care about what I'm going through feel more comfortable? I found myself turning more and more towards the spiritual world and turning to Inanna for comfort. Though I was always taught that prayer was pointless, I've always found myself secretly praying to her during times of darkness. So she was the one light I found in this darkness. 5. How have you grown? I've grown in my devotion to her, but also in so many other ways as well. She eventually pushed me to start building relationships with some of the other gods in the Sumerian pantheon, which added a lot more depth to my practice. After maybe a year of regular practice of devotion and prayer to her, I also started seeking out community and started getting a bit more active socially with other pagans, particularly in the Mesopotamian polytheist community. This is also helping a lot with my social and communication problems that I've never made much effort to address. I'm possibly neurodivergent, but I don't have a specific diagnosis since the insurance doesn't cover that for adults, so I guess I'll never know for sure. Most recently, she inspired me to get out of my comfort zone and start doing things like making online videos and taking improv classes. It might sound silly, but these activities are very therapeutic for me. 6. Why is this important? This is important because this long, winding road has led me to working on personal issues that have really held me back from living a truly fulfilling life. And it has given me another chance at creating the kind of life that I really want to live. It has opened up new doors for me to find a sense of community that I have been missing and to really be able to start expressing myself. 7. What is the greater impact? The greater impact is that now that I am learning to come out of my shell, I can help others by bringing awareness to Inanna and perhaps help more people who might benefit from finding their way to her. Maybe eventually I'll also be at a point where I can use my story to help other cancer patients and survivors, or other people wanting to improve their social and communication difficulties. 8. How does this transformation feel? This transformation feels amazing, but also scary. Like I feel like I'm on the precipice of some great new chapter in my life, but I don't really know where it's going. But I feel the need to take it somewhere, I guess. Like, I feel like I need to make everything I've been through have some purpose. If you're interested in using this template to tell your own story, I'll put a link in the description to a Facebook group about it. I'll also link to Lori's YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.